Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's Ormor's Claw here, coming at you with kind of more Let's Play of of Berseria. So context, my recording devices didn't bother to pick up the audio with my last recording session. Didn't pick up the game audio, and me and my infinite wisdom, I didn't bother to put like a backup save in there. I was having all kinds of issues with it, and I don't know why I was having so many issues. But I use two different programs. One that captures the video and audio of the game, and one that captures the audio of of me talking about whatever it is I'm talking about. And I was having all kinds of tech issues, and for some reason I didn't bother to put a secondary save in there. And with how deep I am into the game, it would be. I don't really have the time to go back and re-record everything on top of the lack of being able to um recreate all the circumstances. Any like weapon I picked up just on a sheer luck, the expedition trials, everything. It'd be so hard, if not impossible, to just recreate all of that. So I'm going to do something a little different this time. And I'm going to kind of just give you a breakdown of what it is I did um, through that recording session. It's about an hour of recording, and the video itself shouldn't be that long. But there are a few cutscenes that I'm going to have to try to inject in here somehow. The skits, I can't really do much about them. Pause the video and read them if you're really that interested. Otherwise, you can just let it phase by or whatever. Most of the recording session was just me running around the island that they're currently on. Getting into fights here and there, taking down a Code Red demon. Uh, saying a lot. the There's also like a main story villain that gets brought up. Something to do with Rokuro's background, and you kind of see like a darker side of him in what he does. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna kind of try to TLDR this and hope to God I can keep talking long enough for it to make a difference. So I don't know. Not sure why. I need to try to figure out why that happened, and hopefully this is the only time this is gonna happen. And hopefully it's not that annoying. I'm gonna have to try to find those cutscenes and play them out for you guys. I think there was like two or three of them in the recording session. A lot of jaw jacking in the game. I don't know what the deal with that is. Okay, so scratch what I said about looking up the cutscenes and then stilling them in here. I don't have a way to do that. Not without shilling out a crap ton of money that I genuinely don't have. Okay, so I guess the best way to tackle this is I'm gonna have to have. I hate to do this, but tell you guys to look up the cutscenes. You can find them. The story cutscenes are on YouTube. Um, Besides that, I can't really do much of anything. My God, am I useless.
You f***ing failure!
So, um, I guess I'll just kind of recap more or less what I did around this island. And this video is probably going to be shorter than the rest of them because of this little dilemma here. Basically they find out they're on, I want to say Midgand? They find out they're an Islegand from a guy who thinks they're an enemy called Swordbreaker. It's this whole thing, and he just kind of attacks them out of the blue. And of course, because this group is resilient, they beat the snot out of him without any troubles. And then after we find that out, we proceed through the rest of the island. Eleanor gets communication from the Abbey, telling her to basically act as a spy. And after she agrees to do so, Eisen and Velvet heard. They heard every word. They know, and they're gonna pretend like they don't. And there's some skits with some comedic, like, men versus women's stuff going on. Proceed through the island. We go through the island. We beat up monsters, loot treasure chests. And the cool thing is, about this game is there is, at some point, I don't know what triggers it, but at some point, you are shown how many treasure chests is left in the area that needs to be looted. There will be a number right above the mini-map. I can't remember when that triggers, or if it was just always there and I wasn't paying any attention to it. There's some nice view shots that I looked at and stood there for a while. Big gaps he can't jump. Now, the usual stuff. Skits for days. The skits are all kinds of fun. You know, ultimately, I didn't actually do much. I didn't actually do much in this recording session. Like I said, I only played for about like an hour. I got like to the entranceway of the tunnels that you're supposed to get to, and then I called it quits. So many problems though with the recording, and I just I'm doing what I can for you guys. So I'm hoping that this doesn't run too long as a video altogether. Maybe like 10 minutes just to get it out and get you the recap, and I'll do whatever I need to do to make sure that the next recording session doesn't have these problems. Because then at least it's so boring to not hear audio. You know what I mean? But anyways, like I said, running around the islands, getting into fights, doing whatever it is we gotta do. We beat up that guy. He tells us we're on Islegand. Tells us where a port is. We make our way towards a port. We beat up a Code Red Demon. And we run into the creature known as Swordbreaker. And there's actually a scene where Rokuro wants to fight him in a 1v1 style after you beat him. And, well, he charges at Rokuro. Rokuro then... Laphicet then interferes and, like, launches some kind of spell at the Swordbreaker. Rokuro says, "Don't interfere, brat," and turns his blade towards Laphicet, only to have Velvet and Eleanor step in the way. And, well, let's just say Velvet and Eleanor are not two women you want to fight. They're peak DPS style fighters, and Eleanor has magic to boot. And Rokuro does apologize to Laphicet in a skit later on, a forced skit, basically. Then I did spend a while trying to hunt down the hunt down the last treasure chest that I saw on the counter. And I did enter the tunnels. I did enter the tunnels. The Vester tunnels, as they're called. I didn't do much in there. I just kind of like fought a few enemies. Checked equipment, and then went through a portal, or went through a doorway. Not much beyond that. Most of this recording session was, thankfully, just cutscenes and skits, so you can pretty much, honestly, you can pretty much get everything of value just by looking up the cutscenes. Everything up to the point of Rokuro apologizing to Laphicet will pretty much give you what you need. And I cannot remember where I cut the recording. Oh yeah, I got right before the Code Red Demon. I saved and then cut the recording. You need to find keys to open a door, and yeah, that's pretty much all that I did. A few fights, some cutscenes, and a boss battle. I am truly sorry about the way this turned out, guys. If I was able to, going forward, I'm gonna have a secondary save just in case something like this happens again, so I can go and re-record it instead of doing whatever it is I'm doing here. I genuinely don't know what I'm doing. Like, I wish there was a way I could find those cutscenes and give them out to you guys so you could at least watch those. But you can find them. They are on YouTube. I will link to a playlist of them down in the description. And while you're down there, feel free to hit that Discord link and the Patreon link if you're feeling generous. I know this seems kind of lackluster and lazy, but I don't have any other way around this. Otherwise, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video, which will be back to normal, hopefully. No, it will be back to normal. There's no hoping. I will make it happen. Even if I have to take some extra money from my next paycheck and throw it at my tech guru friend. Whatever needs to be done. Hey everybody, thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, please consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button, and leaving comments down below. And if you're feeling generous, I do have a Patreon, link in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next video.